My own mentor has made $100 million without ever developing a fully worked out website. In my last video, I busted through 7 myths that often plague beginning music teachers, singing teachers, acting coaches, dance teachers, etc. But then I got to thinking, what about the pro music teachers? What about those advanced vocal coaches? You've actually got a few myths we need to bust through too, especially when it comes to that cap that you're putting on your own income, kind of thinking you can only teach one-to-one. That's why in today's video, we are going to expose 7 more music teacher myths. Hi, I'm Fiona Flyte, and it is my passion and my privilege to help performing artists just like you to build profitable businesses. Now, if you're interested in the money, mindset, and monetization strategies you need to actually build wealth as an artist, then subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and definitely hop on over to my free Facebook community. I made it especially for performing artists who want to become profitable. Now, let's dive in and bust some more myths that are in the way of you as a music teacher, acting coach, as an artist-based teacher from really building the business and life of your dreams. Okay, so the first myth that we've got to bust is this idea that you need a fully polished, like high-end website. You just don't. Websites are nice to have, but they're not a need to have. And you can actually build extraordinary wealth without ever getting to a website, provided that you are marketing in other ways, particularly on social media. So nowadays, your social media profile honestly is more important than your website until we're talking about funnels and advanced strategies. Now, I have in fact had websites over the years, but in my most recent iteration as an online business coach, I still haven't developed my website, and I have made over $200,000. My own mentor has made $100 million without ever developing a fully worked out website. So bottom line, yes to checkout pages, yes to sales pages, especially if you're evolving into groups and courses, etc. But you don't actually need a full-on website. My point is, be strategic with your time and your resources. Fiona, I'm going to lose students if I shift to that subscription model that you talk about, right? Well, no, not necessarily. Here's the thing. A lot of people actually appreciate structure. It's not that they're not wanting to pay you on a regular basis. It's just that they forget. It's just that they don't have their credit card. It's just that they forgot to bring cash. It's just because their mom is late. It's like there's so many reasons that people will be late on their payments. And putting in that subscription model just takes out a whole lot of busy work for you and for your students and for your students' parents if you teach young kids. Now, from my perspective, if you do actually lose a student or two because they're not willing to commit to paying month to month, then maybe they weren't really the students that you would want in your studio anyway. So once you get your head around this, that this is what you want for your studio, you want regular payments, you want to be able to trust your recurring income, then you're going to start attracting the students who have that level of commitment themselves. So I just wouldn't worry about 1 or 2 students that you might lose. And even if you're just not willing to lose any students at all, then pull in this subscription model for new students. And anybody who shows resistance, who you really love in your current studio, then okay, let them slide by, but gradually convert everybody to the new subscription model. Okay, Fiona, I'll shift to that subscription model that you're talking about, but I can't really enforce my studio contract, right? Like if somebody cancels and they want to make up, I just have to give it to them. Otherwise, I'm going to lose them, right? Well, again, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that you have to set the example. You be firm in your boundaries, and then again, you're going to start attracting those students who really are as committed as you are. Now, is it possible that you might lose 1 or 2 students when you start really enforcing your studio contract? And the answer is possibly. But again, I'm with the camp of does it really matter? Because what we really want is to build a studio of dream students and parents of dream students if you teach children who are super respectful of your boundaries. And it all starts with you enforcing that contract. So often the problem isn't actually with the contract itself. It's with you being wishy-washy about how you enforce it. Maybe you didn't tell them about the contract in the first place. maybe you didn't have them sign it, maybe you didn't have them sign the updated contract, maybe you didn't go over it with them, or maybe you just feel deeply uncomfortable with boundaries. All of this is your work, this is inner work, and it's really not about the student. My husband keeps telling me that I should build some kind of online course, but I can't really codify a method, can I? Because I'm just using a mashup of all the different things I've learned. Well, actually, this was me too, and I totally get you because I didn't think that I could build a course either. I thought, okay, I'm just teaching bel canto and I'm teaching the Joe Estel method and I'm integrating it through my own lens, but there's nothing really new here. And so the truth though is that especially nowadays, people want to learn from people that they know, like, and trust that they've met on the internet. I know it's crazy, but this is the way it works. I've bought 10 million courses at this point, all because I really like the creator and it was something I wanted to learn. So you don't have to have your own special method that just you created in order to start teaching via courses and group programs. You just have to have confidence and conviction in your level of experience. So when I'm teaching somebody else's method, I just give credit to them. I say, this is something that I learned in the Joe Estel method, or this is something that I learned from my content marketing coach, Virginia de Assis. I just give credit where credit is due. But the clients that come to me, they really just want to learn from me. And this is going to be the same for you. So don't worry about having some kind of codified method in order to start teaching group programs and online courses. Fiona, you talk a lot about sharing social proof on social media, but I'm afraid that my students, they're just not going to want me to share their lessons online. That's private and personal, right? Well, once again, that's not been my experience. Yes, there are things that are private and personal, but a lot of the time your students will feel like really celebrated when you share their success online. One of my adult clients recently said to me, I feel like, I got the teacher's star when he sees me share his big wins online. That's a client that recently smashed his crowdfunding goals. So there are lots of ways to handle social proof that are respectful of your students. So, for example, if it is a child student, then absolutely you need the parents' permission. You can film that child from the back so that we just hear their voice. You can share notes that parents have sent you. You can share the wins that your students have had recently in competitions, but you can do it anonymously. So don't get hung up on the idea that your students are not going to want you to share them as social proof. This has not been my experience. When in doubt, ask. Okay? I just feel so frustrated because the only way for me to make more money is to raise my one-to-one rates, right? And I just don't want to do that because I'm already charging a lot more than the local teachers. And I don't want to be so expensive that my students can't afford me. Okay, this is one of my favorite myths to bust because gosh, did I struggle with the exact same cap on my own income. And here's what I discovered. I actually have so much fun teaching groups, creating courses at all different prices, creating masterminds. Like, it's crazy how much fun I have doing more than just one-to-one client work. So don't get me wrong, I love one-to-one. It's a way to go so deep with your students or your clients. But if you want to actually generate wealth, you've got to get off the just one-to-one hamster wheel, because it's true. There is a cap on how much you can make. There is a cap on how much you can raise your rates, especially as a music teacher. Now, in the business coaching world, there's some really, really high charging coaches out there. But even then, they can make more money doing a one-to-many model than a one-to-one model. So I just want to encourage you to start creating other options, other ways to bring money into your business. And even in fact, not just teaching, you can do things like affiliate marketing, where you create a list of all your favorite items, just like Oprah had her favorite things around December. You can have your favorite things for the studio, your favorite books, your favorite music scores, your favorite video equipment or audio equipment. There are so many ways for you to generate money, and this is one of my passions. So if you're not already in my free Profitable Performer Facebook community, hop on over there because I talk about all of this stuff there too, and that's a great way to find out about all of my paid offers as well. So if you want to jump into one of my paid programs where we go really deep, really fast at helping you with social media, with money, with offers, with funnels, with strategy, with mindset, with everything, then message me and or hop into my free Facebook group. Let's stay connected. Okay, thanks for that point, Fiona, because honestly, I really don't want to raise my rates. In fact, it's better for me to keep my rates low, right? So I can serve everyone. Well, no.
No?
I would say actually keep your rates at the top of what you feel comfortable charging. And so much of rate charging is an inner game. I actually have a whole program on this called The Price, which you can message me about. But my point here is that if you have a mission of supporting people at various economic levels, then you can absolutely have a sliding scale. You can have scholarships, but your regular rate should be relatively high and definitely as high as you feel comfortable charging. Okay, are you thinking this was really helpful, but maybe I opened a whole can of worms and you need more details? Like what should go in your studio contract? How do you raise your rates in a way that works for people? How do you remove that cap you've placed on your income? Well, you're in luck because next week we're going to dive right into contracts and exactly what you should put in your studio contract. And then after that, we're going to talk about your income and pricing, and I've got you. So subscribe to the channel, hop into my free Facebook group, and don't forget that bonus tip I'm going to give you right now. And that is that I want you to eradicate from your vocabulary the idea that you're just an independent contractor. You are so much more than an independent contractor. You are an independent artist, but you know what else you are? You're a business owner. And so we're going to have more videos about what it means to be an actual business owner and treat your career like the real business that it is. All right, I'll see you next week. And now, as always, go out into the world and shine your light. You have a voice, you deserve to be heard, and the world deserves to hear you.